In 285 CE, the Roman Empire was divided into two by the Emperor Diocletian, leading to the creation of the Eastern and Western Roman Empires. Although, in the coming centuries, the Western Empire struggled before ultimately falling into the barbarian hands, the Eastern Empire, which became known as the Byzantine Empire, continued to exist and thrive until its ultimate fall in 1453 CE. The Byzantine Empire existed for nearly 1,125 years, and it's one of the greatest empires of all time. The success of the Byzantine Empire was due to their achievements, culture, religion, and a powerful sense of nationalism. After the fall of Rome, the eastern part carried on. The Byzantines built a new city called the Constantinople, around 395 CE. Constantinople was the capital and the seat of the Roman Empire. Many people in the West saw the East differently. The Byzantine Empire was deeply influenced in Greek styles. The Byzantines used the Greek language instead of Latin. Unlike the Romans, Byzantines supported Christianity and promoted throughout the world. Even before the Rome fell, the Eastern Empire was a lot larger and richer than the city of Rome. The Byzantine Empire was ruled by Justinian I. He wanted to rebuild the empire. In order to do that, they need to reclaim the region they lost. For example, they conquered North Africa, including Italy. This action slowly made Byzantine Empire rose to power and gain wealth. The Byzantine Empire has had lasting legacies on many subsequent periods in history. Most Byzantine art, architecture, and culture was based on religious themes. Since Byzantine is a wealthy empire, they developed a lot of achievements. One of the most popular achievement they had was in architecture. Byzantines began building churches. The most spectacular example of this style is called Hagia Sophia, which means holy wisdom. It is one of the world's most beautiful buildings. This style of architecture influenced building styles across Europe and Asia. Byzantines also developed arts, for example the saints and figures from the Bible. Most of their art was form of mosaic. It is a pictures created with tiny colored tiles, glass stones, etc. Byzantines used mosaic to decorate the floors, walls, and ceilings of many Byzantine buildings. However, the use of art in churches resulted to a religious war between the East and the West. The controversy involved the church governance. The East believed that the Pope should have the authority to govern the church, while the West believed that the emperor should have the power to govern the church. The difference between the East and the West kept growing to the point that the church was divided into two. East became the Orthodox, and the church in the West remained the Roman Catholic Church. The separation of the Eastern and Western churches resulted to the Great Schism of 1054. The differences in political structure, military, culture, religion, and beliefs draw the churches apart. The churches had differences on how to run their religion. The split between the Eastern and Western churches affected Europe in many ways. Many people within Europe could not decide which pope to follow or obey. The positive effect of the split is the spread of Christianity throughout Europe. The conversion of famous people like Anglo-Saxons helped make Western Europe into a largely Christian society. One of the reasons why people accepted Christianity is because it offered them comfort and the promise of an afterlife. The appeal of Christianity led many Europeans to spread their beliefs with others. Some people became missionaries or people who traveled to spread Christianity. The religion was eventually adapted by Eastern Mediterranean and Northern Africa. After the Great Schism in 1054, the Byzantine Empire fell from its major empire status to a minor empire, no longer able to call upon help from the West. On its eastern front, Islamic Turkish invaders were pressing on the Byzantine border. By holding all lands to the east, the Turks cut off trading lines between Constantinople. The Byzantines lost tax revenue, food supply, and trading opportunities. The Byzantines were constantly being attacked by the Muslims, which resulted to their final decline. It began around 1071 when the Seljuk and Ottoman Turks attacked the great city of Constantinople. They destroyed the Byzantine army, which weakened the empire. The attack of the Turks to the city of Constantinople resulted to many conflicts and wars. One of this war was called the Crusade. By the late 1000s, a series of religious wars called the Crusades was launched by the Turkish Muslims and European Christians. The Turks tried to control the Holy Land. The goal of each crusade was to take Jerusalem away from the Muslims. Turkish Muslims attacked many regions in Europe, including the Byzantine Empire and the city of Constantinople. The First Crusade was declared around 1096. It was between merchants of Constantinople and a well-prepared Muslim army. The merchants were still unprepared, so they fell quickly under the Seljuk Turks. Disorganization and a lack of strong leadership made the Second, Third, and Fourth Crusade another failure. The Turks succeeded in trying to control the Holy Land of Jerusalem. It affected many people, especially the Christians. The crusade was followed by another war called Battle of Manzikert. The Battle of Manzikert occurred on August 26, 1071. It was between the Byzantines and Seljuk Turks. The Turks sacked cities and plundered farmland. This ended up making the Byzantine Empire even weaker than it was, since it had lost most of its army. The Turks succeeded in completely taking over Constantinople in the late 1453, under the leadership of Mehmed II, and this changed Constantinople into a Muslim image. Most of the Byzantine architectures had turned into Islamic style. The Muslims gained extra lands, which expanded the city into a larger empire. The Muslims brought an increase in trade to the European economy. This changes made the Muslims proper and wealthy. The Muslim or the Ottoman Turks had greatly impacted the Byzantine Empire after the invasion. The great city of Constantinople fell under the Turks and later renamed the city of Istanbul. The Hagia Sophia became a mosque. Because of these changes, Islamic religion and culture spread all around medieval Europe. As Islam continued to spread, the Muslims enhanced many regions in Europe to trade with them. As a result, the trading economy in Europe increased. Trade encouraged people to use money. The increase of money eventually led to the creation of Europe's first bank and expansion of towns and cities. Muslims played an important and undeniable role in advancing world civilization of Europe. Even after the fall of Byzantine, its influence continued to spread. The empire influenced Asia in many ways. The style of Byzantine's architecture was adopted by many Asians. The Byzantines also created a Silk Road, which became a trade network that went from China to Asia. Asia's knowledge in medicine and science also came from Byzantine's ideas. Asia wouldn't thrive for years without the Byzantines' influence. The Byzantine Empire influenced Russia in numerous ways. Russia relied on trade with Byzantium for a strong economy and culture. Russians also adopted the Cyrillic alphabet and embraced the Eastern Orthodox Christianity. The Russians tried to imitate the Byzantine system of government and their architecture. By 1050, the Emperor of Russia built the Cathedral of Saint Sophia. The style of this church was based on the Hagia Sophia of Constantinople. These influences from the Byzantine Empire affected greatly on the development of Russia. The Byzantine is a wealthy and a powerful empire. They had proved this through their achievements. With the challenges that strike them, they managed to continue influencing different regions.